Hi everyone, hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me today. So this meditation that we're going to be doing today is for the throat chakra. When our throat chakra is nicely balanced, lined and flowing fantastically, this is the area that helps us, goes without saying, with our communication skills and our self-expression. So, if people aren't often speaking their truth, it can come across, particularly when I do healing work. I've got a bit of a sore throat, or I'm coughing a lot because things are needing to come up and needing to get rid of them, and you need to speak up for yourself, or maybe tell somebody your truth, or even I sometimes find that you maybe not being very truthful with yourself sometimes, so it can all get clogged up in there. And sometimes it can lead us, sometimes, not all the times, but to lead niggles in our throats and things like that, feeling like our glands are a bit swollen and things. So yeah. So as always, if you are on a meditation cushion or on a yoga mat, make sure you're comfortable, and make sure you've got maybe some blankets and things just to keep you a little bit warm, just in case you do get a bit chilly, because obviously you're on the ground, or you're closer to the ground anyway, so it can mean that you can get a bit colder a bit quicker. Also, if you are in a chair like myself, get yourself comfortable, feet flat on the ground. It's important for us to be comfortable throughout this process, because we'll be here for roughly 20 minutes. So, if you'd just like to take 3 large breaths in through your nose and hold for as long as you can. Draw the breath in quite slowly. And you'll feel your stomach expanding as you're doing it. And when you're ready, when you can't draw any more in, hold that breath for a couple of moments. When you're ready, just slowly let it go. And again. And when you're ready to let go. And one last time for me. So, now I'm going to focus on the affirmations, and as I'm talking you through each of the affirmations, getting ready to recite them for you, I'll give you some little tips as we're going along. And if you find your mind wandering, just remember you can come back to you should be in your normal rhythm of breathing now, just as it normally is. Just come back to that breath and just count it if you need to. Count up to 10 and then start again, just so you're shifting your focus. So the first affirmation is, I communicate clearly. So if you know that you struggle making yourself heard, or struggle with other people understanding what you're trying to say, we'll always say though, sometimes that isn't a case of your lack of communication skills or poor communication skills. A lot of people, basically, they're only listening to respond to you. to give you a response. They're not actually taking the time for it to sink in and for it to be clearly understood. So sometimes it's not necessarily you, it's just people trying to get a response in as quickly as they can when it isn't always required. So you can wear you can wear turquoise jewellery, or lapis lazuli, or sodalite. One of those three. You could wear, jewellery. If you know it's a particularly problem area for you, you could have it on a necklace, or even on a key ring and things like that. So when you're finding yourself stuck or lost for words, or you're struggling to find the right words, you can always touch those crystals that you have on the jewellery. So now I'm going to recite the affirmation for you, and just allow those words to sink in. I communicate clearly. 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 So the next one that we are moving on to is self-expression frees my soul. So if self-expression is an area that you're having difficulty with, I would recommend using a rosemary blend, and you can pop it on your pulse points. So obviously on here, pulse points here. You can even maybe be really careful about this, popping it on your temples or behind your knees sometimes as well. That's they can be really good places to place the blends, but you do have to be very careful. The safest will always be your wrists. And the rosemary is just gonna help cleanse and lift any blockages and help you really be able to, speak up, scream, shout, and whatever else it is you need to do. So while I'm reciting this affirmation, think of an area of your life where you've been struggling with your self-expression. Self-expression frees my soul. 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 So the next one, and this is always an affirmation that I think of when I think of the throat chakra, and this is speak your own truth. Because we all have our own truths, because we all have our own maps of the world, we all have our own belief systems. So, what my truth may be, it may not be the next person's truth. So that's something that we should all bear in mind in our day-to-day lives when we are communicating with other people. We all communicate differently, and we all have a different set of beliefs and values based on our map of the world and our history of the world. So if you're particularly good at plaiting, you can always plait a blue thread while focusing on what matters to you, particularly when we're focusing on speaking our own truth. And you can tie it round your wrist as a reminder, or sometimes you can get like almost like plaited friendship bracelets. You can get those, you can put it on your wrist, and whenever you touch it, it can always be that reminder to you that about the things that are important to you. So while I am going to recite this affirmation, I would like you to think about the things that really matter to you. What is your truth? What are your values? What are your beliefs? Speak your own truth. 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 So, the next thing I have for you, the next affirmation is people listening have faith. So if you're really wanting to make your voice heard, so if you're giving a presentation, or you need to do things like Facebook Lives or do videos or anything like that, or even if you're having to communicate in written word, this will be a really important thing for you, because if you're trying to disseminate your own truth, if you're trying to put that out there, you need to know that people who are listening to you, whether they're reading what you're writing, they're watching you, or even just listening to audio of you, you need to know that they've got faith, they've got trust in you, they trust what you're telling them. That's really important. So it could even be really key if you are in some form of healthcare, if you are a manager. So just bear that in mind. So we can do a multitude of things for this. You've already heard me talking about crystals already, and you've heard me talking about using ribbons. It's a form of colour therapy and things like that. But also you can drink peppermint tea. That is a wonderful cleanser. So if you can tolerate peppermint tea, that is a really great way for you to helping to activate that throat chakra for you. So activating it and clearing it out, getting rid of anything that isn't there, because I always find mint quite, particularly peppermint, really strong taste, and even though it is strong, it's a strength that helps build you up. I find not like lots of women when they're pregnant and things like that, they lean towards like mint or ginger, but in this case peppermint. But while I'm reciting this affirmation for you, I would like you to think about how you would like your voice to be heard, or times where you felt your voice hasn't been heard. People listening have faith. People listening have faith. People listening, 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 have faith. So the last affirmation we're going to be working with is creativity is abundant in me. So if you need to be very creative in terms of your words, so if you're a writer, public speaker, or even if you've got very important assignments and things to write, that is a very powerful affirmation to use, because we're all creative beings, because an idea starts with a thought, and until we've got that thought, we're unable to put it into action. So until we get that idea, that thought, that little spark, it's not there, but we create that. We create that. And by then using that thought, that creative idea, we then look at how we can execute it. And that is another form of creative power, because we're putting it into action. So, if it is something that you're needing a bit of help with, basil, so keep a basil plant near you. Some people suggest you can chew on a leaf when you're in need of inspiration. I mean, if that's what you would like to do, go ahead. But if it's not something you're comfortable with, you could spend a couple of moments just focusing on that basil plant while you're just trying to find that little bit of inspiration. So I would like you to think of all the ways that you can be creative when I'm reciting this affirmation for you. Creativity is abundant in me. 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 So, now that we've finished those affirmations, what I would like you to do is for you to take those 3 large breaths in through your nose, like we did at the start. Slow breaths in. And when you're ready, let that breath go. And then when you're ready, take another breath. And when you're ready, take that final 3rd large breath in. And then just allow your breathing to return to normal, to its normal rhythm. And then give your fingers and your toes a wiggle and a wriggle. Give yourself a big stretch. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and you'll see that you're home. there we go. So I hope you found that of benefit. So in terms of things you can do for yourself, obviously you can listen to this meditation anytime you feel stuck with any forms of communication or self-expression. Also, you can use colour therapy, so it's usually blues for your throat chakra, and you can use anything from lapis lazuli, sodalite. Sometimes you can use howlite as well, actually. Turquoise is another one you can use. If you are doing communication with spirit, if you're learning to do communication with spirit, or something you've done all your life, you can also use a turquoise pendulum if you're looking to get definitive answers. They're quite useful for that. Yes, and if you're looking at foods and things like that, you'll be looking at things like blueberries, for obviously clearing those airway, helping to clear all this out. You can also use, I've said, like the likes of peppermint tea. Anything minty really will help, particularly peppermint, and also it's gone, whatever it was gone, so obviously a lie. But also, if you're having any difficulties, you can also call on Archangel Michael. Now obviously he is a protector, but he is very closely linked with Mercury, which is the planet of expression, language, so he can be quite a powerful one for that, and he usually does appear with a blue light anyway, so obviously he's quite closely linked with our throat chakra. He is also linked with those who were born in June or are Geminis, so he's another archangel that works very closely to me. In fact, he was the first archangel I was ever aware of. So yes, so you can also call on him. Say blues for your furniture, for your home, and if you want incense, I would really recommend anything really minty, basil or rosemary. You can use all three of those kind of scents for, you know, activating those senses of communication and self-expression. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.